were you back then? Do you know?
About 200 kilos.
Double.
The gym was shut.
takeaway
It was
places were
barbecue.
open.
It was barbecues every day and drinking, and that's when I realised I'm stopping all of this because it was getting out of hand. Like I was like, this is bad. This is no good for you.
So probably with the cycling then is probably why I understand why you've got maybe a love to it then, because it probably did save you from that life.
It's a weird way because what happened was I was going out and I hadn't really made the decision at the time to stop drinking, and I would say that I'd never ever said I'm never drinking again. I just thought I'm going to stop this until I get good at this. And what was happening is I was going out and I was realising that the fresher that I was, the better I was getting. And then I would go out with guys who were really good, and then they would really suffer when they drank, and you could smell the drink off them. And I'm like, nah. And what the good thing about this and how it really encouraged me to give up the drinking is when you drink, the temptation is, well, it's what you do. It's the weekend feel. It's the good vibes. Like if anybody, like I always enjoyed, hey, it's coming close to the weekend. We can have it's excitement. It's a buzz, and that drinking is part of it. And you get that wee buzz and that good feeling, and it's like social and it's fun, and you're like yes. And then because I had something else to do, I just found it really easy. It was like, well, I've got an event. Like I booked the very first one I done was the 85 mile ETAP, the very first event that I did, and it was like, right, I know I'm going to train for this. I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to see how fit I can get, and I want to do a big cycle because the whole idea is they're talking about these Ironmans, they're talking about these huge distances, and I'm like, I can't get round the block. So I thought, let me book an event and let me work it, let me work up to it, and that was the plan, and I just found it such an easy transition. People like, are you coming out? Or like we went to Smythe's wedding. That I was like, nah, I'm not drinking, because I literally went to Smythe's wedding, left at 1 o'clock, left at 1 a.m, got up at 3 a.m, I drove up to Pitlochry, rode the very first event, that was the 85 mile ETAP, and then drove back home and myself, and I was like, I felt really, really good, and I thought, this is a new world. Oh, there's something more than this drinking culture, this getting, drunk, and, the weekend is all about, getting bevied. And I thought, oh, I like this. And then what that led into, well, at the weekends, I'm going to go and train and I'm going to get in shape. What event am I working in? You would always put something in the diary. And it was such an easy transition to, that's not part of my life anymore. Because I think what happens is when people stop, when they stop something, that whether it be alcohol or drugs or smoking or gambling, whatever it is that's their vice, they're taking away something that they enjoy, whether it's bad or not. They're taking away something that they enjoy, and then they've nothing to replace it with. And the reason that I found it so easy was I'd already had the replacement lined up. I just didn't know it yet.
Yeah.
And this replacement was making me feel better, and I was getting fitter, and I was getting in shape, and it gave me something to like. And that's really, because the backdrop was a really difficult time, like COVID, and the information that was coming out, you didn't believe. Like this whole sham that was taking place was a total sham, and you started to have there was a lot of negativity and mistrust, and there was a lot of doubt about what you were being told.
It zapped your brain if you watched the news. Like you just felt really beat up.
Yeah, people like, so the news. There was all these celebrities coming out, and like what happened was, if you were paying attention, basically anything that came out in media were all parroting the same thing and hitting you with the same thing, and it was so scripted that you realised that, oh look, this isn't your opinion, you're being paid to say this. And then what you realised was people were getting shut down in social media, any dissenting views were getting shut down, and it was basically turning into Orwell 1984, which was, unless you toe the line of what we were saying, you're not getting a voice. So to find something to get away from that, what I was doing was, when you're cycling, you're going out, and as you've seen the scenery, it's beautiful. Fresh air, you're in nature, you're in the sunshine, you're in the daylight, even if you're not going to get sunshine all the time in Scotland, but you're in daylight, so you start to feel good, and you're away from all that. And as you're getting better and as you're improving, and it's just like when I took you out, it's like, come on, we'll go and stop somewhere and we'll get something to eat. What an enjoyable experience.
Much more sociable experience as well.
And it's great to see people like yourself that are new to it, and it's like, hey, I'll show you the ropes, and then seeing the quick development where you start to improve, and you're like, man, that feels really good. And it's not only good for you to see how well you progressed, but it was also good because I was like, I know exactly what that feels like. I know exactly how that feels.
Went through it.
And it's that whole thing where you start to go, I quite like this. And it was a really easy transition. And I think especially for where I was in my life, you know, my wife certainly didn't have any complaints about me improving. It improved my business relationships, improved my friendships, improved. The only friendships that I lost were people that I had friendships with because of drinking culture. And the group of friends developed and strengthened that were into the same sort of things. And it helps when you can back each other, because when you've got a group of friends, like we've got a whole core of us that cycles, Greg, Steve, Smythe, he sort of comes in and out when it suits him. You know, and a few other guys that, and even if you're not cycling with guys that are cyclists like Simon and things like that, you can chat and you're talking about events and you're talking about what's coming up and you're asking about how their training was going and you're like, what was it like today? And that was a good buzz. So you were getting this energy and this social aspect that you would have previously got from like bars and clubs and that type of thing. But you had none of the hangover, none of the like negative, depressing, blue, rough, tired feeling. What we were coming out with was energized and euphoric and a buzz and like, hey, I mean, this is cool. Where are we going next? And it was like, let's go to more places and let's explore, because we're just big kids. Yeah. It's like, hey, come on, we'll get a ferry to like the Isle of Arran. We'll ride round it. Like, come on then.